musicians and cool things and stuff. It's the Holly and Josh Show. Yay, Harley's here.
I'm
Our
here.
own little Trollort.
Oh,
That
I'm
was
back.
Trollort, by the way. They're a folk metal band, and that one's called Bloodpath. That's on iTunes and stuff like that. They're playing in Ipswich soon, but more importantly, Trollman. How are we?
Oh, I'm good, man. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, mate.
Are you suitably holidayed?
Och, heile nu, man. I had to say it once. I was in Scotland for anybody that I was actually it was a holiday in Germany, but no, I was holding that in all week because they're all going to say, "I would never say that, man, ya bastard."
Yeah, fair. I've missed you. Honestly,
me too.
bear in mind, I very rarely. I'll see you Monday. And generally, sometimes at Rock Project, but I haven't been at Rock Project much this week, last week anyway. But I've really missed you, man.
Yeah, I miss you
Good to
too,
have you
man.
back. It's just having your presence in the Ipswich town area.
It's just like it's like the bat signal, but instead it's just a butt above
butt
the
signal.
city. The butt signal.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. I am vengeance. I am Buttman.
We need silhouettes.
Yeah, we do.
Like, what would your silhouette if you had a bat signal? What would
butt.
your?
It was just a
Would it
big
be
old
like?
butt.
I think it would be like sideburns, but I don't know if
In the sky,
sideburns.
they were just like mandibles, like an ant.
I don't know if sideburns are very like noticeable when they're not on a face.
I don't know. Have you never ripped them off and just left them there?
I have, but
That's a sideburn.
yeah, but like it just looks like an L
Or just like
or
a very
a
sculpted
mutton chop.
something that you get out of a bath after you've been in it after a girl. Girls are weird, man.
Girls are gross.
They have loads of hair.
Ah,
Hey, so what you been doing, boy?
right. Oh well, I've had a really cool week actually. We had the return of the Rock Project, which was great.
We're both wearing our special fan t-shirts.
I actually saw one of our senior students for tonight this morning,
Nice.
Elliot, because he goes to school near me, and he was walking to school, and I was driving on my way to Worsted Park, where I've been this morning, and he saw me, and I was like, I'm wearing my Rock Project t-shirt. I think he just thinks I'm always wearing it.
Yeah, on
'Cause,
Monday, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I had a really good week. We started with the Rock Project, really strong start. We got some new tasters, some new students who were really good, really fast pick-up stuff. First songs on every group sounded great, really good. I was there for Monday and Wednesday, but I wasn't there for Thursday because I missed out. I was instead working more house auctions.
That sounds riveting, man.
I was. It was a long day on Thursday.
Yeah.
My alarm went off at 4:45
Oh, in the evening.
in the morning after Rock Project finished, like 9 p.m. the night before.
yeah,
I
of
got
course,
home at
yeah.
like 11,
Yeah.
and it wasn't good. But I got to drive a nice big van. It was like yours, a Transit,
Right.
but a Transit High Top Plus. I don't.
cool.
It's the biggest one they do. It is massive.
One of the new ones.
Yes, brand new. And it was a really nice drive. Really nice to drive. So yeah, drove that all the way to Norwich. Say all the way, it wasn't that very far. But we're working for Auction House, which was really really fun job. We did 2 auctions in the first day. So bear in mind I woke up at 4:45. I didn't get home until 10:15 in the evening.
Crikey, boy.
It was partially my fault. We actually finished at 8, but I went, still a bit of Rock Project. So I ran over to Old Jet to see the guys at Rock Project, which I'm really glad I did because nice to see all those people I haven't seen for a long time,
Yeah, of
and they gave me a very warm welcome, which was great.
Halle, halle, halle.
That was literally when I walked in on Wednesday.
That's Wednesdays
it was exactly
on
what it
Coppleston,
was. Yeah. So the kids have this thing where they say, "Sing my name" every time a teacher says my name, and David, I hate you for starting that. Because we can't find a way to get to do any other teachers like
No.
um
And the great thing is that it's like a football chant and how much you hate football.
that much a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a thing. So I did that on Thursday. I did another house auction on Friday, which was at Peterborough. All the way to Peterborough just for the one job. So it was a longer day because it was more driving, but we were still home and dry nice and early, which was great. I was absolutely exhausted by the end of it. I was just ashamed because I really wanted to go to the Impilo show, but I didn't because I was very
I
tired.
brought it to you today.
You brought some of it.
Yes.
Nice, good. We'll have to. Oh, there's a car in the background. I was like,
It was my stomach. I'm very hungry.
I was like some weird synth. I don't know if. So I have I do have a mission to make. You didn't. I don't know if you tuned in last week. You were probably well on your way to Edinburgh and couldn't.
I was not able to listen. No.
No. Okay. Well, what was me and David did the Rock Project? No, did the radio show. I can't.
Your other thing that you do.
We just connect words together. Me and David we pre-recorded the show, which went out fine. We went out live on the live show, but when I went to do it on the podcast, the file had corrupted in transit and only had about 6 minutes from the beginning. So there hasn't been last week's podcast.
I noticed.
I do apologise to everyone. However, it was a short one because we recorded it between shows.
Right.
So we did it on Saturday. So what we might do, if any podcast listeners, we didn't talk about any gigs coming off the weekend because at the time I had no gigs. So we didn't have much to push. So it's just me and Dave and a synthesizer that he's just bought making lots of noises. So we'll dub that onto the end. So that'll
and say this because I need to hear this.
You need to hear. Well, you can download it this Thursday.
Good.
So it'll be a extra long episode to make up for last week's podcast absence.
Nice.
He had a vocoder thing, which was great.
Like a microchord thing. Oh, cool.
So so we did that Saturday. Now, at the time, we had no gigs I had no gigs to promote. I did because I was. Oh no, that was the week before.
It's good you're having a conversation with me right now.
Good, yeah.
It's in his brain.
I'm talking to myself. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. Okay, so I had a last-minute gig come through from a company called DK Management. You familiar with them?
No.
Are you familiar with Damien
Donkey Kong,
Keys?
right?
Yeah, Donkey Kong Management.
Yeah.
Damien Keys of Damien Keys. He's a YouTuber that does a lot of artist advice on bands, on promo, social media and stuff. He's really good at pushing, knowing what's
Does he have a YouTube
hot.
channel then? Huh?
Yes, he does YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and he's really
Just
on
Damien
it.
Keys.
Yeah. He's also well known for starting up the highly acclaimed School of Music, BIM. He was one of the founding fathers of BIM.
Right.
He did that and sold it in 2009. And when he sold it, he used the money to start up a band agency, which does function bands and original bands. Treats them obviously in a different way because you can't run a function band necessarily in the same way that you run an original band. They're two different things, but he's very good at both.
Yeah.
And this band were called Saint, and they came all the way from Brighton to do a gig in Yarmouth. They were looking for a bass player, and I went, well, that's not far from me.
Nice.
And jumped in with them, and it was a really good night. It was a really good fun night.
So it was originals or was it covers?
This was covers.
Yeah.
Playing at a wedding.
What kind of stuff?
So it was sort of indie rock stuff. It was really interesting because last time I played in Great Yarmouth was with Space Rocks, and we did a lot of the same songs, and a lot of those songs I hadn't played since I played with Space Rocks in Great Yarmouth.
Weird.
So it was really cool to sort of just bring them back out. I'm like, I'm here.
This is really strange.
So I'll always think of Mr. Brightside as the Yarmouth song.
The Yarmouth song.
So it was really cool.
Great Yarmouth. Sorry.
So that was a cool one. Did I have a gig on from the Sunday? No, I didn't. No, I had a roast dinner.
That's nice.
So that was
Just as much sweat involved, I think. You know?
Just as much sweat involved. Speaking of last minute gigs,
right.
This weekend just gone, I also had a last minute gig come in.
Nice.
Which was at Manning's.
Oh, cool.
They've recently changed management. New landlord, new manager, and they came in this week and went, we want to kind of open our opening weekend with the band. Me and Toby were talking completely separate, going, we haven't got a gig this weekend, but really want a gig. We haven't played for a couple of weeks, and we're just like, let's see if we can get a cheap gig. Yeah. Just put ourselves out for a weekend just to get our chops up. We're also in the studio on the Sunday with Chart Attack, and a little bit of money would have meant that we could pay Oscar for his travel money,
right?
And it will cover us for snacks and food the next day, which we have some with us today.
Nice, 20 cornflake clusters.
Hell yeah! So so we did a gig at Manning's. Now we were setting up thinking this is going to be a bit of a weird one. It's no promo. We've literally got the gig the day before,
right?
And people just flooded in as soon as we started playing. Being a town centre gig, it had that pull, but loads of people we had. I mean, I felt for Elliot because he had so many amazing singers turn up, all at the same time. So Andy Hopgood came along, Vanya Lima came along for the show as well. Both of them got up and sung with us on a couple of songs together. Brilliant. So a big old sort of triad of guest singers. We also had a good friend of mine, a good friend of yours, Matt Hurrell, turn up.
I haven't seen him for ages.
He's been away on cruises for 9 months.
Yep.
And he's back for a little bit until the end of October.
Dream, I believe, is what it's called.
Yep. And he's been absolutely loving it. It was great to
I always
meet
like
up
to
with
think
him.
of that he was just playing gent the whole time. Like
The
only
Genting
Periphery
Dream.
and Meshuggah.
You can get those,
like acoustics. I
I know you can go like those Kiss cruises, can't you?
Yeah.
And you can get like those themed or metal cruises. So like a Genting Dream would be like a cruise where you just go on and it's like,
God.
But imagine that with
just crack the hull.
Yeah, just imagine. I'm now imagining the Titanic going down and the band going down with a ship, just like a gent band. It's
been a pleasure to play with you, sir. Yeah, nice.
But
so, what did Matt come up and sing with you? As well?
He didn't come up and sing. Well, I really wanted to, but unfortunately,
why not? I mean,
we were going.
Why was Andy and Vanya allowed? And
well,
not Matt?
we had to cut our set short because they're a new pub. They don't quite have the licensing yet, so they had to finish like dead on 11. So we cut like 5 or 6 songs out of our set, and there were a couple in there that I was like, oh, we could get Matt up for those, but unfortunately not. Now, as I was thinking, oh wow, Elliot might be under pressure because all these amazing singers. With that thought, Lloyd Willis Turnbull turned up. I'm like, okay, well, I got an amazing bass player watching, so that's cool because I haven't seen him for a while. It was really nice. So it was a really good turnout. And we kind of got us in the mood for our recording session that we had on Sunday.
Oh, where did you do it? Area 51?
Area 51,
nice.
Yeah. We've been doing, working on some demo promo material. We actually recorded some acoustic tracks with Oscar and Elliot.
Oh, cool.
Doing some tracks. I had to say, Oscar was a little bit under the weather. He was full of cold.
Poor guy.
But absolutely, actually helped. He got a bit of a husky voice on some of the BVs, and they sounded amazing. Yeah, so
sticky shoe.
Yeah, it was really cool. We did 3 acoustic tracks. We also finished all the backing vocals on the full band stuff. So we got 5 or 6 songs of those to go out. So we are fully ready to sort of hit the promo world.
Nice.
We've got a filming session to do a video shoot in October as well. We're going down to London for that. So we are well on it.
Why in London? What are you doing in London?
The company who we're working for, Taylor Entertainment, they're based in Hampshire, but the videographer they work with is based in London, and it's also a nice middle point for us both to meet and go. So we were quite happy because we didn't want to travel all the way to Hampshire, but at the same time, if we didn't want to travel all the way to Hampshire, we were understanding that they probably wouldn't want to come to us. Yeah. So it's a nice middle point. It's also Oscar already lives in London, so he's already there.
Nice.
And that, I guess, was most of my weekend. It was really good. I was still annoyed that I couldn't see some of any of Impilo's stuff, but you say you're gonna get that.
I will.
Can you play me a jingle first because I've missed it?
Harley did stuff. Well done, buddy. Bling. Oh, well done, buddy. You had an adventurous week.
I did have an adventurous week.
Yeah.
I didn't.
I sound so passionate. Always all tuck it out.
I did. I slept like crazy. Like after the house auction stuff, I was so tired. I was in bed by 10:30, which is unheard of for me. That's at least 4 hours before I usually go to bed.
Sleep, yeah.
So I went to bed well early. Woke up at 7. I was like,
come on. I only know for a reason. Well, so I had a lovely Scottish trip.
Tell me about it. I want to hear about about it.
Well, I won't go crazy into it because this is the Harley and Josh show, not the holiday recap thing.
Okay, can you go specific on a couple of stories?
Yeah,
like how you got your nails painted, because you have got some lovely pearly nail varnish on your hand.
I have gold nails.
Are they gold? That is.
We'll take a picture just for everybody
listening
in. But I went on I went in to Edinburgh to see a good friend of mine. It was Dan Turner. It was his birthday. He's a drummer. He was at university with me. We had a band together while we were at university. And he's a big Scottish man with a big bald head, a big beard. Like that.
So close your eyes. Think of a Scottish man.
Yeah.
Him.
Yeah, it's exactly. But broad and wonderful drummer. He's got a brand new band called Not Robots, who are actually playing in one of the venues that we were hanging out in. But yeah, he had a group of friends with him because it was his birthday.
Yeah.
One of his friends, he had some nail varnish with him. He had some on, and he was like, "Do you want some?" So I was like, "Okay." I mean, I was like, I didn't need much, convincing, because I was like, "Well, it's his birthday, and I don't want this guy to feel alone," And
those sound like the sort of conversation that people have in bars, but not about nail varnish. Aye, mate. Do you want some?
Can I just open the lid and sniff it?
I got a wee pot of happiness right here.
A wee pot of golden happiness. That's great. Yeah. So, but fantastic venue we went to, because we started off in the Black Bull Inn, and then it was just a proper rock pub. It just looks like any pub, but it's just, just they only play Slipknot and stuff.
Sweet.
But then we later on went to the Banshee Labyrinth, which this place is awesome. If anybody has gigged there or has been there before, please let us know, because it's an awesome pub. It's built into the vaults, which is part of South Street, the South Bridge in Edinburgh, in Old Town, which is this huge long road next to the Royal Mile, which goes right up to the castle. It's just the most beautiful city I think I've ever been to, is Edinburgh. But yeah, it's in the bridge and around the bridge there are these things called the vaults, and the vaults are kind of they used to be used for sort of food storage, but it was really, really wet, so it wasn't good for it. And that's in the 1500s, so you can imagine sanitary. No. But they turned it into this just haunted metal bar, where they say that it's the most haunted pub in England, apparently, or in Scotland. And I forget where I was. And and I don't buy into paranormal stuff. But it was pretty creepy, because there's no windows, obviously, because you're at least 50 feet underground, and it's all dome, sort of tunnel shapes and things like this. So I can't really stand up because I'm this weird lanky thing. And they've got these stories all over the walls of these different hauntings, and there's this weird pervy ghost that just hangs in the girls' toilets and just brushes their hair.
Yeah, ghost.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's just a barman. He just likes to wear camouflage gear and go in the girls' toilet.
But a weird ghost. His left hand's fingernails were painted gold.
God damn. But yeah, they figured me out. So that was just really cool. It was just I'm hoping to get us a gig there, because they've got a gig venue down. Well, it's all downstairs, but it is like a labyrinth.
Yeah.
So many different rooms that come off it. They have free cinema that goes on in there. But somewhere else very cavernous that I went to was the Cavern Club in Liverpool.
That would be cavernous.
Yeah, actually cavernous, which was quite amazing. We did try to get to as many sort of music-based things as we could, because I was missing it, not gigging for a week. But yeah, we went to the Cavern Club, famous sort of stomping ground of the Beatles and the Who, and Cilla Black.
Who?
Back in the 50s and 60s, and you could just see all these sort of pictures on the walls of people that have played there, and people have written their names all over the bricks, and you can see at the back, there's painting of what.
Did you write your name on the bricks?
No, I didn't have a pen, but I was I don't like graffiti when it's not artistic. I would just put Josh was here. People would be like, "Who the hell was that guy? Who cares?"
So, I don't know if I'm skipping ahead, but you went to a place that was nearly you.
Nearly you?
Nearly your name, nearly your band name. You went to Lockerbie.
Oh yeah, the Lockerbie. We went to Lockerbie. I mean, I drove past it, drove through it, paid my respects because of the crash and stuff. But I had to get my picture taken with the thing, because the amount of people that call us JS and the Lockerbies, it's come on now.
That could be quite an indie band. If you decided to go kind of vaccines kind of indie.
It was I don't know. I don't quite get why people would think that we would name ourselves after a famous plane crash.
I don't think it's much that. It's probably the fact that Lockabilly isn't a real name, so they assume that
how I spell it is a spelling mistake.
Yeah.
We've just had like Rob Lewis, the Last Gunfighter, sent me a message through an email that he got from a gig that we're playing, and they are actually just they've put it in their literature that we are JS and the Lockerbees. I'm
Really?
like, it's on the website. If you don't know how to spell it, maybe check, you fool. Sorry. Anyway, Josh had a rant. You can tick it off your bingo card.
Hey!
Yeah. So yeah, this is all over different places. I think, but the most interesting thing that I wanted to show you was that, so because there was a lot of driving involved, I figured out it's about 1,350 miles I drove throughout the whole way. We didn't share any of the driving because of insurance and stuff, and plus my van is a contract lease, so I'm kind of not supposed to let other people drive it unless I, have consent from the lease company. So we made it our thing, Frankie and I, to listen to as many of our childhood albums as we were driving, and we took it in turns. So it would start off with sort of like it'd be I'd pick an album, then she'd pick an album, then I'd pick an album, she'd pick an album, and we got through 35 albums in the end, something like that. I think we figured it out sort of on average it was about 350 to 400 songs or something like that. But yeah, so
it's a good way, because it's like I get in the car and I just look at my most recent searches and put a playlist on that I'm listening to, or an album that I've recently searched, and then you can kind of get stuck in an echo chamber of what song of stuff and just listen to one thing until you're sick of it.
Yeah.
So that kind of stops you listening to the same thing twice.
This is really cool because we've got like it in numbers and in order of what albums we listen to, and I can sort of tell where we were from the album that we were listening to, and I kind of now I sort of think of certain songs like we listened to Permission to Land, Darkness.
Oh yes.
So now, but I remember when Love Is Only a Feeling. Love is only a feeling. Sorry. We were going through the Trossachs when we were going through that, and I remember there's this mountain that at the top of it just looked like there was a question mark carved into it. But it was just that song. It was very epic. And I just, these mountains going past us and everything, going past question mark mountain. So I don't know. I think I'm going to put this up. I'll give you a quick list of what we listened to. The first one we listened to was American Idiot.
Cool.
But there was, so let's put some other stuff on there. But as we were driving into Edinburgh, we listened to ABBA Gold.
Yeah.
So, Choice by the Nails. On the way back, we listened to Radiohead, OK Computer. What else? As we were driving into Blackpool, we listened to Blink-182, Take Off Your Pants and Jacket.
Yeah.
Go on.
How many of these albums were ones that you'd not listened to in its entirety
Let's have
before?
a look here. Marilyn Manson, Antichrist Superstar.
Yeah.
I'd not listened to that the whole way through. Pendulum Immersion is Frankie's ones. What else?
Obviously, will be her ones.
Yeah.
If they were your ones, you'd heard them.
I'd heard them all the way through. Yeah.
And how many? And were there any albums that she'd not heard before?
Quite a lot. Yeah. Which was nice. She was gutted that she'd never listened to OK Computer before. She was like, "How have I not listened to this album before? It's amazing." Yeah.
And it's one of those ones that's quite like prestige. It's up there with the Dark Side of the Moon as like almost a game changing album.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool that she had that.
There was another band
listen.
that I'd not listened to, Hardcore Superstar, and they're basically like an 80s band, but they're not from the 80s.
Okay,
to that. And also, I'd never listened to Joan Jett and the Blackhearts' first album, I Love Rock and Roll, which was really good. And another album that she reminded me of that I was super happy about was Enter Shikari, Take to the Skies.
Oh yes,
that was the one we came back home. We were listening to Sorry I'm Not a Winner as we turned up to the house at 9:30.
Oh, that
was awesome.
But
yeah, I recommend that. I think I'll put that up on the Harley and Josh Show page, and just you guys can track our route through the albums. I just thought that was a nice little extra thing. I think maybe you should try that next time you go up on a big journey.
Well, I think me and Nicky are going away next week. So
where you going?
We're going to Brighton.
Very nice.
We're going to only go for a couple of days, but it's a long enough drive. We could probably smash out a couple of albums.
Yeah, I reckon. Yeah,
that'd
be nice. Have you got plans while you're there?
Yeah, we I'm hoping to see a friend of mine, Jack Carter of Lower La. I can see him over there. I still need to message him actually.
Yeah, you want to tell him he's coming.
And we're going to do the i360. We're going to do some sightseeing whilst we're there. maybe do the Sea Life Centre because
Nice.
it's there.
Yeah, went there.
It's a nice one there as well.
It is nice. Yeah.
And we've got other things that we'd like to do, but depends on what times
It's very
we can
Victorian, the Sea Life Centre as well in there, which
Yeah.
is really cool. There's lots of sort of arches, and it looks like how it was when it was
been there a
first
while,
built.
isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. But it was. I'm just saying, sort of the places that we were visiting in Scotland. It's just all really old buildings.
Yeah.
They're still there. Like I can't get over just how beautiful Edinburgh was. Or Stirling Castle as well.
Is it the first time you've been?
First time I've ever been to Edinburgh. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the great thing we saw in Stirling Castle was that they had a lute on the side, and I was just like itching to play it. It was similar to one that you've had in West End Music before.
Okay.
But it was an oud kind of
Oud.
looking thing. Oud.
It's haunted.
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh.
But yeah, they had a guy just sitting there, came in and playing it every sort of 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. Just like this guy, he looked like a massive metalhead. I think only metalheads play ouds.
Yeah.
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 Just like metal bands, like they're from Trollot.
Yeah.
Swiss folk metal bands. It was quite incredible, just like sort of how well he could play it. Thing is, it's a very ancient instrument, and he was sort of told us the pieces he was playing, which were composed in the 1600s. It's just like how do you still find this? And some of the interesting thing as well that is in Stirling Castle, there was these carved heads, and they're sort of out of wood and sort of these big disc shapes. But they say that it was some of the first ever carved written music was written around the end.
Oh wow!
It was these weird sort of ones and zeros, and it looked almost like Morse code.
Oh, okay.
But really interestingly, it was just sort of they said that, they haven't found any evidence of earlier sort of written music in that form before. So I'd love to know what it actually was.
Like how it could be read.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Especially if it's a circle. I was like, where does it start? And where does it end?
Maybe it's like a round, but literally a round.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go round again. That's probably what it's going to be.
Yeah. Let's go round again.
Get round again. But check out Not Robots, is my mate Dan's band. They're kind of like horror punky kind of stuff.
Oh, nice, yeah.
But not like, to the point where it's just like super thrash or anything. It's quite accessible, actually. Quite like, because I'm into my sort of like my sort of thrashy punk and sort of Better Than 1,000 hardcore sort of style stuff.
Yeah.
But I can see that why some people might be a little bit deterred by it.
Yeah.
But no, don't be deterred. It's not that scary.
Ooh.
Ooh. Yeah.
So
I'd like to play you a song because big shout out to our mates in Pilo. They had an EP release last Friday here at the Smokehouse, and they had Orange with them and ANG.
Yeah.
Angel from Beats Rhyme and Grime. It went down amazingly. I've heard. Obviously, I wasn't there. I think where was I Friday? Friday I was in Edinburgh.
Yeah.
So I hope whoever went had an awesome time. I have not got the EP yet, but I have had this song for months, which is the title track from Smile Through the Pain, because I played it live with them at a couple of different festivals.
Of course, yeah.
So so I had to sort of learn it from this, but I'd already seen them play enough times that I was like, it's the Maj 7.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun. That is not... I have not been able to find the EP on iTunes or Spotify or anything yet. Maybe you guys might want to just check in with them. It's probably going to be on its way, yeah. But it will be available. It is available in CD format and stuff, so please get in touch, because Impilo are selling it on their Facebook page for £3.
What?
£3 for an EP. I think there's about 5 or 6 tracks on it. So...
That's like 50p a song.
yeah, get involved, guys.
Mate, that's brilliant.
So yeah, this is the title track. This is called Smile Through the Pain. Cheers.
Oh, beautiful.
Really lovely, isn't it?
I cannot say how many times it were. Should I start that one again?
Go on.
I can't say enough how much I love Murray's production on that.
Yeah.
Like generally on everything, he really knows how to make that bass sound great and fit it around the instruments. And you listen to some of the other tracks that he's done with Impilo, and he's got different bass sounds. Obviously, that was on his Jazz Fretless, and he's got other basses that sound wildly different, shall I say? And he
He's
still makes
literally
them
just
sound
got
good.
himself a precision bass as well.
I know, and I saw him playing that the other day,
Yeah.
and it looked amazing.
So
and
it's
it
got that
sounded,
court bass that you got from you guys at
yes,
West End, yeah.
which is great, lovely modern sound. And, he's got a great collection of different basses that just fill every hole in a mix. So has he obviously hasn't had a chance to use it at Lockabilly's.
He has. He played the precision bass at a wedding that we did at the Brook Hotel the weekend. Well, it was the last show we did before we headed off on holiday.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
and it sounded great.
Yeah.
It was just
Perfect
really
for that
super
kind of
spanky.
thing.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Had that vintage sound.
It's nice. I can imagine it's nice and bright, being the maple fretboard.
Yeah.
So it has that real like gnarl to it if you dig in hard. So.
Yeah, exactly. He doesn't really digging very high. He uses quite light gauge strings.
Yeah.
So it's kind of he doesn't have too much bite yet from it. But I think after he's figured out his sort of tone settings and things like that in the prison bass, it's going to sound much different.
I like that way of playing.
I really want a P bass now, for God's sake.
Yeah. I like his way of playing because it's good to not dig hard and then play harder when you need it.
Yeah.
Dynamics. There's so much technique in the right hand with playing bass that if you're just digging hard the whole time, you've got nowhere to go, and you have to change your setup to get that bottom end. Because the harder you dig, the less low end, the more top end.
You have quite a low action in comparison to me.
Yes, I do. Yeah. I like to have the action low. Because of that reason. If you play light, you can have a nice round sound. If you dig in hard, you can have that bite without having to dig crazy hard. And it's a bit of a bad technique of mine, but if I'm playing hard on my right hand, I tend to squeeze too hard on my left. It's very hard to sort of tell yourself to not do that.
Disconnect.
And if the action's too high, I just can't get the top end that I like. And the speed as well does falter a little bit. But that's mostly just because I'm not used to it. If I played with high action all the time, I'm sure that would come back. But it's just not my way.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It's just, I think maybe it's just from the fact of when I started learning how to play bass, it was just on kind of really bad basses that hadn't been set up properly.
Yeah.
And they would usually just be really high action. Now I've set it up how I like it, and it is sort of at the top end of where the action should be. So I think don't go any higher than that because it's just going to start bending the neck.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is. I find it much better. I think it's just the fact of I'm quite a hard player. So if I don't have something that's pushing back on me, I have quite high gauge strings. I'm not crazy high.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think right now. I think they're sort of like 45, 46.
Oh, that's
that's
mid gauge. Yeah,
mid-gauge. So I kind of prefer to have that just biting back on me because otherwise I feel like I'm playing guitar.
Yeah.
And if it's quite sort of flaccid.
I have I tend to. I've got 40s on my jazz bass and they're too light, but they sound great. I don't necessarily like how they play. They're a little bit too toppy, but they sound great. And it's like I'm going to wait till they die before I go to a standard gauge. On my P bass, they didn't have the 45s in, so I bought 50s. Already had 50s on it, so I bought 50s, but I bought steel wound rather than nickel. And it's like it's a little bit heavier than what I'd like. I like light 45s. That's a good level for me. But again, they sound good. And I'm really worried that if I go down to 45s, that they'll lose that massive tone that I get out of it. So I'm a little bit like, oh, what do I do? But the great thing about like P bass is I can swap strings around and then just put them back on if I don't like them. So I might
it's
go
the same
to
with double bass actually. Like I've still got both the metal strings and the weed whacker strings that I took off to put on the Innovation Rockabillys, because the Innovation Rockabillys ones are sort of flat wound Kevlar core, sort of tape wound black things. The metal strings, they just have you can't slap start them.
They're too tight, and
they're just way too tight. Yeah, the tension is just so high that if you actually try, like, it really messes up. Get yourself carpal tunnel, But the weed whackers were great for the whack. For the slap, but there's just not enough tension to get enough note out of them.
Yeah.
But they're all there in my bass case just in case I'm like, I want to just sort of,
try
mix
stuff
and
out.
mix and max strings as well.
And that's quite
Don't
popular
always
with
have to
double
have-
bass, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you don't always have to have, a set, if that makes sense,
Yeah.
of strings. If you know how to set up your instrument, you can make it so that you can have different gauges on there. If you think that's what you need. I mean, as on my Gretsch, I have chromes on there, which I bought from you guys at West End Music. But I don't like having the wound. Sort of like I can't remember what gauge it is. So it was a 14, it was an 18, and I think there was a 20 for the G.
Yeah.
Whereas I prefer to have like a sort of maybe like a 16, 17 instead, but not wound.
Unwound, yeah.
Yeah, because the wound ones, you try and bend on that, and it's just like
Yeah.
yeah, and you just can't quite get there. I like to do sort of tone and a half, two-tone bends. And if you're battling against your strings too much, then you're just going to end up going through strings and fingers too quickly.
Yeah. No, it is like anyone who's tried to bend and play a lead guitar solo on an acoustic guitar, you realise how much wound strings do not like being bent.
Definitely not.
They just hold their tuning too much.
Because I used to play back in Stratospire days and the Force days, and back when I used to sort of play a lot of like metal and hair metal stuff.
Yeah,
I used to be on very light gauge strings on sort of 9s. I can't remember what the lowest, the highest gauge string that I would use. Like on the E string, probably about 43 maybe. But like nowadays it's sort of 50s odd, and I'm usually on 11s or 11s to 13s. And I've got my Ibanez, which I used for the Black Swan, big white sort of hair metal style Stratocaster guitar with the Floyd Rose on it and stuff like this. And I've set that up to be with 11s now, and it's so different to play than I used to, because I've actually been using it for some session stuff recently.
Oh, nice.
Because a friend of mine, David Housden, I'm sure if you remember him from Fate Untold.
Yeah.
He is a BAFTA award-winning game soundtrack composer.
Wow.
He did the soundtrack for a game called Thomas Was Alone, and it was just named as one of the greatest games of a couple of years back. I think it was 2015, I think it was.
I think I've seen that being played actually. Yeah.
It's like a sort of a 2D platformer style thing with sort of blocks and squares, and it's a great game, really wonderful. But he has been commissioned to do the soundtrack for a new game. I can't say who it was, so it is. But it's a remake of an old classic game.
Final Fantasy.
No. It's a remake of an old classic game from sort of like late 80s, early 90s. And it's a proper fan favourite of like people that had a Super Nintendo and stuff. But it's the original soundtrack's very sort of, it's 8 to 16 bit.
Yeah.
So it sounds like Henry Home Suite, or Game Boy. But he's adapting it, and the original soundtrack was meant to sound like a 90s like metal band sort of thing.
Yeah.
So now he's getting me to do some guitar over the top of it, of sort of 90s metal style stuff.
Sweet.
And he sent me he's like, okay, just for an idea of what I want, here is the Power Rangers soundtrack.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I had to learn how to play that. So go Power Ranger.
Yeah.
And I sent him back the original 90s Spider-Man intro. Meow, 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 meow,
Yeah.
meow. And X-Men.
Yeah.
And I've been playing stuff like that, but of course over all of that stuff, it was still when people didn't have guitar fatigue, if that makes sense. So everything had a massive solo over the top of it. It was just hilarious. I've literally just got a message from David Housden as we're talking about giving me feedback of what we need to do. So watch this space. That's really fun just to go back into that and let my hair down a bit.
Nice. Let your metal hair down.
He was surprised because Dave went to college with me when I first bought that guitar.
Yeah.
And I was, in the leather trousers and stuff.
Yeah.
And he messaged me. He's like, "Do you by chance still have that guitar?" Because he'd been watching a video of Steve Vai.
Of course, yeah, which is based on the Gem.
Yeah,
His guitar, the Gem, is based on the RG, isn't it?
Yeah. And it's so funny because he sent me the video of Steve Vai playing the Halo soundtrack.
Yes.
I can't, with Nile Rodgers was in there as well.
Was he?
Yeah,
Did not know
crazy
that.
enough. There's a great little video on YouTube. I'll see if I can find it and send it to you. But it's it's just them talking about it. But what I thought was quite funny was that as a musician watching it, and they're sitting there just talking about stuff, and they're watching the intros and the sort of the cutscenes from Halo, trying to sort of like say, okay, so what should happen here? What should happen there? But what they're actually saying is, it's amazing how games are nowadays. You know, my kid plays this, and he's just like this, and this Nile Rodgers and Steve Vai just talking about games of today. And I'm looking at the studio engineers, and I'm looking at the producers, and you can see it on their face, just like, yeah, we're paying by the hour here. Can you guys shut up talking about the game and just record? And I was doing that when I was with Dave. He was just like, we were just chatting about stuff. I was like, look, let's just get this done because, you know, I don't want to waste your time and money. But yeah, speaking of wasting time, shall we get on to the gig list?
Let's talk about the gig list.
Have
you got a lot going on this weekend?
I am playing at the Back Tiles in Marsham on Saturday. Which
is that with Lockabilly?
That's with the Lockabillies,
nice.
Jason. The Lockabillies will be playing at the Marsham Black Tiles. We've played there twice now. Looking forward to playing there again.
Nice.
And you have a gig with Chartac, don't you?
I do, yes. I got 3 gigs this weekend. Are you with us?
We are on with Hoppy and the Hopefuls at the Shamrock.
At the Shamrock.
In Ipswich, Friday 21st of September. That's going to be loads of fun. I can't remember what time we're sort of starting, but I'd say get there at 8, half 8 to avoid disappointment.
It's it's a small place, so it'll grab you.
Real quick.
Yeah, being an Irish pub, they do great Guinness.
Eels and crack.
Eels and what?
Crack.
Okay.
Someone's got good crack. Never heard that before.
Yeah, it just sounded like you're saying crick.
And they got good crack.
Great crack. Love it.
Family show.
Okay. I was Irish, right? So yeah, so we got that on the Friday. I'm really looking forward to that. There's another show going on on Friday at the Rep. Have you seen this? I can't remember what the name of it's called. I'm gonna have to find this, but it is going to be one hell of a lineup.
Right.
We have Rob Lewis on vocals, Tom Guitarthy on guitar. Although I did on his Instagram post commented because he was making a face, so I commented Tom Guitarther. Tom Guitarther.
So wow.
MacArthur.
Yeah.
We have Mr. Rainer Vendel on drums and Mr. Gavin McInally.
Come on, McInally.
Return of the Mac on bass.
Return of the Mac.
So yeah, that's going to be a great lineup. They're going to be doing some great songs. I can't.
You're not allowed to tell us.
I'm in the middle of a post, so I don't want to exit it and lose the post. So you have to find the event.
Okay, cool.
The something experience, and it's definitely a quote to The Office because because them guys.
Yeah, it's just Rainer and Rob. Rob now.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So that's all the gigs you've got going on.
Yep, I will also be playing in Chelmsford actually with Justine Demir, Lady J, and the Troublemakers.
The Eric Hitchmow experience.
Hitchmow. Yeah, something like that. Anybody who listens...
It's good to have an in-joke.
It's good to have an in-joke that only they get because only The Office, it's not that popular. I know it may have started, one of the most richest comedians' career, but still. So this Saturday I'm going to play Lady J and the Troublemakers. I will be joined by double troublemaker Dan Dolman.
Nice.
He's going to be drumming with us for that gig.
Another shifty twin.
Another one of the shifty twin troublemakers. He could be an oddball. Who
knows?
Who knows at this rate?
Nice one. Well, shall I giggy list?
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's see what listed gigs there are.
All right. First one I've got coming up. Thursday, 20th of September, the Angel Woodbridge. We've got Peter Hepworth live. He's doing an original set.
Oh, nice.
So he's doing loads of his own stuff, which is awesome. Next one I've got coming up is the band that we started off with, Trollort, folk metal from Switzerland, live in Ipswich, courtesy of Dead Cell Promotions and Darren Smith. Guess where they're playing?
Where?
Yeah. Guess.
Oh, I am going to guess they are playing the O2 Arena.
In Ipswich.
Or my back garden.
Good. Are they the same thing?
Yeah.
Premier Pool Club.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
awesome.
It was the music room. Before that, it was like a strip club. But it used
So
to,
it was.
yeah, it used to be Premier Pool Club back in the day. It's where I saw Energy
Is that
Kyrie
now what it? Of course, yeah.
back in the day, and I played there. I've gigged there before. Have you ever gigged there back when it was Premier Pool Club?
I think I did one gig there. Yeah.
Yeah, I did with Sacred Addiction, and just back when we were like sort of 16.
Wait,
But yeah,
no,
so it's
I
back-
didn't play there, but I was watching you play there.
Mental
There we
Kismet. Yeah, we did stuff
I
there.
shouldn't have been there. I was way too young, but still.
Madness. But yeah,
No, I
we
didn't
all
see
were. We
madness.
all were.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's that. That's back up and running. So yeah, check out Premier Pool Club in Ipswich. What else? So on 21st, which is the Friday, we've got Nick Turner's Space Ritual that's been moved from a different date. So now it's definitely happening at the Manor Ballroom in Ipswich on the 21st of September.
Nice.
21st. There's a lot going on the 21st apparently. So if you're in on Friday night, what are you doing? Get out.
Yeah, get out.
CD launch party by the Brackish Edge with Groff and Alien. That's Friday at 8 on the Smokehouse. Know those
yes.
guys?
I don't know any of those guys,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
so check them out. Be
They'll get some
interesting.
new music coming out here at the Smokehouse on Friday. So also on the Friday at the John Peel Centre in Stone we got Zion Train, Tree, Gilfroy, and Beard FX. Good old
Sweet,
boy.
nice bit of fun. Great.
Yeah, I love him. Also on the 21st at the Three Wise Monkeys, we got Ed Sykes, 15 Lions, and Lord Bongsun, son of a bong. I don't know. That's in Colchester. Also on the Friday the 21st. Why is there so much going on the Friday? God damn. Talk of the Town.
Talk of the town,
Talk of the Town, boy.
Talk of the town.
And the Wild Man in Ipswich.
Oh, of course, nice.
Nice. So that'll be on the Friday. Okay, so now finally we're on the Saturday.
Hey.
So at the Black Horse in Ipswich, we've got live music with Lycan. So if you like your sort of metal stuff,
Nice,
your
yeah.
rock covers, get down to Lycan and Lycan that at the Black Horse in Ipswich. Also on the 22nd, I think this will be the most attended covers gig of the weekend at the Railway Tavern. We have Renegade 12
Again,
doing
nice.
covers. So they're doing all covers,
All covers, not
night.
just the. Because last time they were there, they did the.
The original album.
Or was it like that? Maybe it was the time before that they did the.
The splits, or whether they do AC/DC and Guns N' Roses or Iron Maiden or something.
It wasn't any of them, but it was that. Yeah, it was a
Pantera.
dedicated Pantera show.
That
That's
was
the
it,
one.
the
Yeah.
Pantera. So I'm not sure if they're doing a specific one. They are doing one in October for a Halloween thing where they're doing just Guns N' Roses and just AC/DC.
Wow.
Which would be quite fun.
They've got.
Good luck
a
to Sam
great
for his
roster.
voice on that one.
Yeah.
And also, what's this one? X-Berry Mental 3. That is at the rehearsal rooms in Bury. We've got Tone Sucker, Buttercup Insurgent, and English Herret. I've never been to the rehearsal rooms in Bury. That should be quite fun.
Nice. Yeah.
Also, on the 23rd, September 23rd, Chart Attack are playing live at Isaac's.
Oh yeah, there was that one. I did Friday, Saturday. I didn't get as far as
It's
Sunday.
Charlie Attack playing Isaac's on the Quay at 3 o'clock on Sunday. So get down. Hopefully the weather will be good because we'll be outside and people will
hope
be
so, yeah.
proper dancing.
Yeah.
The last gig I want to plug, which is actually on the Saturday, I want to play us out with that. We have a band coming all the way from London called Feathers, sort of like Riot Girl style band.
Nice.
It's the Feathers, Smart Alex, Zero UK, and Hotwired. They're playing here at the Smokehouse in Ipswich on Saturday 22nd. So yeah, I think I would like to put that in. This track's called Bad Girl. Before that, Harley, I'm going to miss you till next week. Oh wait, no, we're at Rock Project.
Oh yeah, we are. We're going to show
Monday,
that
Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah.
It's gonna be lovely, mate.
Yeah.
Like us on the Facebook, like us, do things for us, and
Find us on iTunes.
sing us a song.
Leave us a review if you can. Don't know if you still can. We haven't checked that bit yet.
Sure, we can. And let us know if you've won the bingo.
And if you're listening on the podcast, keep on listening because you'll have last week's bit of me and Dave.
Yeah,
So
stay tuned.
tagged on to the end.
Okay, yeah, cool. Keep listening.
Wonderful.
Love you.
Bye. Unless I'll see you in a minute. Okay.
Ah.
Bye.
Hi everybody, welcome to my world. I really am too much to take, I'm such a bad girl. Hi everybody, welcome to my world. I really am too much to take, I'm such a bad girl. Hi everybody, welcome to my world. I really am too much to take, I'm such a bad girl. Hi everybody.
So hello everybody. Welcome to the Harley and Dave show. We are without. Yeah, we've got grapes today. We are actually doing today live from Area 51 because no one's available to do it actually live So we've pre-recorded on the Saturday before. Hope you don't mind. Sorry. I lied already. But hello, Dave. How are you?
I'm very well, actually. I feel recuperated after a nice long summer break from Rock Project. So
Yeah, man.
I'm pleased you've invited me in because it's like been ages since I've seen you. Last time I saw you was playing at the Golf, I think,
Yes.
with Chart Attack. So
Well,
I
it
was.
the day after, actually, Grand Central.
Oh yes, of course. It was a double bubble weekend for you.
It was indeed. Yeah.
Actually, it was really nice to see you guys play at Chart Attack because I've not seen you play before. So, in fact, that was a busy weekend because
You were
Grand Central, it was
crazy.
the first Stetson's gig as well. So that weekend was a special weekend.
And also the day before, we were at Maui Wowie.
We certainly were. That was 3 days on the trot then.
That was mad. That was a mad weekend.
That's why I slept for 48 hours afterwards.
Yeah.
You are a party animal.
Yeah, I didn't stop after that. Okay, because I had a private wedding on the Sunday as well.
Yeah,
It was
I
a
remember
mad
you
one.
saying it.
It was a mad one. And it seems that it's only staying mad. I was expecting. It was weird for me. I don't know if you have the same thing, but for me, I was like 6 weeks holiday. Oh, I've got all this free time. Now I'm not teaching and haven't got the Rock Project. It doesn't work like that.
No, you just fill your
Oh.
space with other stuff, right?
Been doing so much recording, studio stuff, and bits like that. It's been mad busy. I mean, how have you been filling your time?
Well, I moved.
Oh.
So that was the big one for me. So
Yeah.
I moved from Colchester, which is where I was living before I set up Rock Project, and then the business is doing really well. It just made sense to move into Ipswich. So I'm now Hintlesham bound, which is about 5-10 minutes from the Cop Dock, which is really cool. So that's going to save me a lot of time, bit of petrol money, and all that good stuff. So
Yeah.
that took a fair bit of time, and I've been to gigs. I've been doing a bit of prep, a bit of signposting for stuff for the future. I've been relaxing. Which is good, like nesting in the new house, getting used to it,
Yeah.
organising and unboxing and all that kind of stuff. Been filling my time, and it's amazing how quickly it goes.
It does.
It
Yeah.
has flown by.
Nice. So, well, that's great that there's things been happening. I certainly follow all of the Rock Project pages and stuff. I've noticed there's been a lot of stuff being posted out on the Instagram, on Facebook, getting everyone riled up, and a lot of people asking for information for the new year. So we've got loads of new starters, and
We do, yeah. Monday, for example, we've got 10 new students just for the Monday, which is really good across the 3 groups. So we do juniors and then seniors and then the adults. So yeah, we've got 10 new ones. Yeah, mostly adults, which is really exciting.
that's mad.
Yeah,
Okay.
it really is. So what's Josh up to then? Why is he not in today?
Josh is on holiday, so I can't remember where he said he'd gone. Maybe he's gone to like Scotland.
Because he's just moved house as well.
He's just moved house, and he has celebrated celebrated moving house by not being in his house and going on holiday. So I've got the most squeaky chair. I don't know if it. That's just horrific, and I don't have another chair. Oh yeah, we should probably point out that Dave brought a new toy. What is it?
It's the Korg synthesizer, basically. So so I've been inspired by a comedian called David O'Doherty, and I just thought it'd be really cool and really fun, and also a sick addition to the Rock Project because we've got strings and we've got loads of other good stuff that we can fill some of the void and some of the space that we do at gigs and things. So it's a new toy. I literally got it about an hour and a half ago, 2 hours.
We've been playing on it for far too long.
We have, yeah. We're basically Daft Punk wannabes.
What do you mean wannabes? We are Daft Punk.
Well, yeah. So keep talking for a sec. Let me. Just...
Okay. Well, you know how people talk. You got a Messiah syndrome, where people think that they're the son of God. There's also lose yourself to dance syndrome, where people think that they are the physical embodiment of Daft Punk.
You can take your helmet off now.
Oh,
Feel that bass wobble.
that's bassy as wobble.
How did that come through on the whole sound there? Is that
It looks like it came out
peaking
all right.
Okay,
no,
cool.
mate. No, it's good level.
Okay, wicked. Let's just spend hours playing.
Yeah, you don't need to listen to us when you've got a sick synth like that.
Look, I want to talk about some stuff.
Okay. Well, let's talk about your weekend just gone, which is this weekend, so it's still not happened. But have you been up to much? Did you see much music yesterday?
No.
Okay.
No. Yesterday, I don't even
was
know what I
Friday.
did yesterday. You really, I didn't know we were going to do my
Josh
whole
goes
thing.
away 1 week and the whole thing just falls apart.
Yeah, tell us about it. So, no, the last gig I went to was at Grand Central to see Rob. That was my busy week for music. who did I see recently that was quite? Oh no, yes, I saw Luke Concannon,
You did indeed.
who was epic. He was exactly the gig was exactly how I envisaged it. Right, so
Awesome.
it was at the Angel in Woodbridge, which
Yeah.
is owned by Mr. Mapey, and it's a really old quintessential English village pub. So you've got the old oak beams and stuff
Yeah.
like that for anybody that hasn't been there already. And I go in there and I arrive a little bit early because I was supposed to be meeting Mr. Rich Webb, funnily enough.
yes.
A couple
Yep.
of things in the pipeline. And so I arrived there early and Luke was there and there was this squeeze box gadget thing.
So it looked like a suitcase.
I didn't want to touch it. I didn't know what it was, but I was
Could explode
musician.
if you touch it.
Well, it was connected to a foot pedal and it looked like a mini suitcase with some switches and
Does
stuff on the
sound
front. So
like
that
a
was
bomb.
quite. I learned a new instrument. I love that. So although I didn't get to play on it because it was Mr. Concannon. So I walked in and he was barefooted. He had like a lazy shirt on that was unbuttoned.
Yeah.
It was so laid back. He kicked off. He didn't even use his microphone at the start. He just come right out to the front of the stage, mixed in with the audience, which was really strong actually. So it's in a really small room that's probably about the size of this, so maybe 4 meters by 5 meters with
Yeah.
a bar in it. And he just started to perform, but you can tell he is a serious professional. So he just connects with the audience and he's inviting you in. Everybody's singing along. It was such a warm and friendly environment. We had Peter Hepworth warming up, by the way. Just
Awesome,
get that
he's
in
great,
there.
yeah.
He is fantastic. And
He put on the event, didn't he? With
Yeah, he
Bus
did,
Tour,
yeah.
So
Yeah.
massive shout out for Pete for making that happen.
his voice is incredible, but I'd never heard it so sweet as it was. I think it was, when was that? It was Tuesday, I think.
It was Wednesday.
Was it Wednesday? Thank
Because
you.
we thought it was Tuesday. I bought a ticket, and
Yes,
then it
that's
was
right.
Wednesday.
Well, this is a weird thing, right? I've got to stop hitting that microphone. This is a weird thing, right? Where I've been so busy and then we've hit the holidays, I've kind of not been keeping up to date with what day it is,
Yeah.
which is really nice. I knew it was this week, but I couldn't have told you what day it was.
Sick.
Yes, you were supposed to come up there as well, weren't you?
Well, you said, oh, he's playing tonight. This was Tuesday. And I was like, awesome, bought a ticket. He was like, oh, wait, no, it's tomorrow. I was like, oh, I can't come. But I was busy Wednesday. I went to see Plumbing the Death Star live.
How was that?
It was incredible. Yes. Shout out to Mark Chatley, who put on the event. Or I think he organised a lot of the tour, at least. I met him at the last plumbing show, which I saw in Soho.
So have you been to 2 shows of theirs now?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So what's the
Both
live
tours.
format? Do they record a podcast live with
Yes,
you guys?
so it'll be available to listen to at some point in the future because they've been doing shows every week, so they'll put them out throughout the year. And so they vary the format up from time to time. So I know they did a few episodes because the Sans Pants Radio run various different podcasts from that one channel. And they've been doing a lot of JBSA, which is Jackson Bailey, who is one of the guys from the Plumbing Death Star. And it's called Jackson Bailey Spooks America, which is brilliant because he talks about various myths and legends and talk about, well, if it's not the Beast of Bray Road, what is it?
Fantastic. So right up your street with a comical factor in there as well.
Oh yeah, they take the Michael out of it quite a lot. So they've done stuff from all over. Last time they did a UK tour, they talked about the Woolpit twins or something like that. Woolpit on the way to sort of Cambridge Way.
Yeah.
Is called that because it had loads of wolf pits in the woods. They just dug big holes where wolves would come down.
No way.
Would fall in the hole, get stuck, and
True story. Oh no, it's not the vocoder anymore, is it? So I'm just playing.
Oh.
There we go. Maybe if I was to put it onto the vocoder.
there we go.
That's not really working that well. You can
not.
tell it's brand new.
Yeah.
So yeah, the things that I wanted to talk about. Are we good for that right now? Because
well,
I know you've got a
yeah.
Okay. I'll just shut up and tell me when you want me
I was going to say, well, I'll finish my story first. All right.
Let's make it all about me.
It's as if Josh was here.
Hey.
They don't do they didn't do that this time, which is sad because that's one of my favorite podcasts. But they did a podcast which was which fictional character would be their best sidekick. It got weird very quickly. it ended up with Ant-Man mopping up Jackson's belly.
I'd never have chosen Ant-Man.
It's just having a little guy is just helpful. Imagine that, like you're lying down, you can't be bothered to shave, and there he is mowing the lawn on your face.
Yeah, Superman, laser eyes, and can fly.
Somebody did have Superman, but then the problem is you can't have your sidekick more powerful than you.
Right, yeah. Yeah, Superman is kind of like an ultimate
He's a bit
being.
powerful,
Yeah,
isn't he?
yeah, very much so.
But yeah, no.
I'd have to go for Wonder Woman. All right.
Dude, it's 2018.
Sorry.
Yeah, so that was a really good show. They also finished with a quiz, which was quite funny, and they won a drawing of an ape,
Fantastic.
which was good. It was good. So
Whereabouts was that then?
this was at, I can't remember the name of the venue in Cambridge. It was a pub. It was just in this back room of a pub. Really nice place. And yeah, it was just a little one-off show.
Podcasts aren't that mainstream. But they are big, but
They're
they're not
getting there.
mainstream. So what was the capacity of the audience like? If it was in a pub?
150.
Wow.
Wait, no, it wasn't even that. No,
Wow.
it was about 70. Sorry, the last
Okay.
show I went to was 150. This was 70. That was a sold-out show. They've done. I think the largest show they've got was Thursday. They were in Manchester to 200 people, and that was nearly sold out.
Well, considering there's not much publicity for this kind of stuff, that's a huge turnout.
It's weird things with podcasts because they're a closed unit. You
Yeah.
know, they're the sort of thing that people listen to on their own. You listen to a lot of podcasts. I listen to a lot of podcasts, but you put your headphones in and do it. Listen to stuff on your own on the way.
Yeah, that's
when
right,
you're
yeah.
traveling somewhere. It's not the sort of thing that you can watch with friends or listen to with friends like you do so much with TV or with music. So it's hard to sort of tell people about something that you're into in such a way that works like other medias do. So it's hard to promote stuff like that. They've done really well for what they've done. I mean, like I say, they're from Australia. They've done 2 UK tours, which is mental to sort of afford to be able to come all the way over here with 3 or 4 people, travel around the country, do Edinburgh Fringe because that's expensive.
Wow.
I've heard
They've done the Edinburgh Fringe
they
as well.
they did the whole Fringe. Yeah,
They are the big boys, aren't they? Those guys. A lot of people have recommended the show to me.
Yeah, they are. They're sort of they're a whole network. They've worked with other comedians as well. They went with Demi Lardner and Tom Walker of the Big Soft Titty.png podcast. If you're listening, that's very much an over 18s podcast. That's a very weird one, but they're both stand-up comedians, so they did shows over there. So they kind of went as a unit. And
So I've got a question for you because you phoned me on the way home on the train, and that was a weird telephone conversation. So who was there with you?
so my phone's broken, and the only way I can talk to people without it sounding like I'm underwater is via hands-free.
Okay.
So I was with James from West End Music, James Garden,
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
and his friends who went along as well. And they're quite funny people. It was a good laugh.
Yeah, well, there was a lot of laughter going on in the background and a lot of strange noises.
Yeah,
and
and we-
it sounded like Josh was there.
Oh, right. No,
There was
he
some-
wasn't there. But
There's some Josh-esque noises going on.
well, he is. Yeah, I wish he was there. He'd have loved it. He'd have really enjoyed it. But unfortunately, not. It was not with him.
Okay, I'm going to eat a grape. Carry on talking.
My intention is like, I'm going to finish the sentence just as you put a grape in your mouth.
So,
So this we'll move for me to this weekend. Didn't do a gig last night, which was nice because the first sort of week. This was supposed to be a gig-free weekend. If you re-listen to last week, I went, "Oh, no gigs this weekend," but last minute I had a gig come through for tonight, which is where I'm heading after this, which is probably very soon. It was with DK Management. If you've heard of Damien Keys. He's a massive social media guru guy. He also started up BIM, Brighton Institute of Modern
Wow.
Music.
Okay.
He was part of the group that came from.
Sure.
He left that and started up his own management company that put on bands for weddings and stuff all over the country. They needed a bass player, and I went, yes, please.
absolutely,
'Cause
yeah.
I-
An opportunity you can't miss.
Yeah. Also, weekends with no gigs, and the money has helped me try and get up to zero somehow. After I've
So you've
spent
been
way
around
too long.
quite a bit. You've done a lot of touring and depping and stuff like that. Are you
Yeah.
playing with any musicians that you've already played with, or is
Don't
that...
think so. I'll find out when I get there, but I don't think so. I know a lot of people from Brighton, but I don't think any of those are anything to do with this band.
Brighton. There's a few musicians in Brighton.
There are a couple, yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. I will talk about that probably next week with Josh. So we will revisit that one.
Okay.
And that's pretty much my musical weekend. Is that even on? Okay, cool. I really don't think this is any way audible, but let's find out. Cool. Talk about yourself. Talk about you. What you've been up to this week, or have you haven't got much on this weekend?
No, this weekend is all about the prep work.
Well, what are you doing immediately after this?
Immediately after this, I'm going to see Mr. Rob Emony to pick up a new Alan Heath desk from the Rock Project.
Yeah,
because the old one, kindly donated by Mr. Webby, has died, unfortunately.
Kapoofed.
PCB problems. So we've got a new desk coming in, so I've got to pick that up. Today I have been doing drum machine repairs. I have been getting the admin work prepped. All stuff that I should have really been doing over the 6 weeks holiday.
You got to take your time off though.
Yeah.
You work hard 50, 44 days weeks of the year. There we go.
Oh man, it was really good to switch off. It was really good to rest and lay in and just recuperate and just have some time off, because we've done 18 months solid, and even most of the weekends we're out getting gigs and stuff like that. So yeah, it's been really nice to just to switch off, get in the house nest, and kind of revisit my my sanctuary and get my head straight and
your new sanctuary.
Absolutely. Look at Rock Project from an outside perspective and look at where it's going and all that kind of stuff. I feel really cool, and looking forward to what we've got coming up and all that good stuff. A couple of our Rock Project associates have released some acoustic EPs. I've been listening to a fair bit of acoustic stuff.
We're going to play some of that, are we, today?
Ideally, yeah, that'd be fantastic. Yeah. One is Adrian Winter, who is an adult student of ours, and he has released an album called In the Years, which is not what I expected. I thought it was going to be an acoustic album, but it isn't. It's a mixture album, so it's got some dance tracks on there that he's made himself at home in his studio. He's got some acoustic stuff on there. I've listened to a few tracks off of that. I haven't listened to the album in its entirety, but certainly there's some bangers on there.
What did you want to play? One of those songs now?
Can do, yeah. Let's go for No Progress Without Struggle.
Okay, yep. All right, then. Let's give that a listen. We'll talk about it afterwards.
Real, thank you. How awesome's that?
It was great, man. That sounded awesome.
The best playing I've had in a long time. Yeah, Adrian's really cool. He's a really nice guy. He's getting stuff out there now. He's going to perform at local events. So if you get the opportunity, if you see his name on a bill, go and see him, because he's a really cool dude. And the other guy that I was going to mention was Bruce Neal, which is little Elsie's dad.
Right. Oh, yeah.
He is a phenomenal acoustic player. Like,
really?
Seriously good. Yeah, he's brought out a few EPs now. And his latest one, which is One for the Ditch, has got
great name.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, is just mesmerising. It's got Passenger. It's David Gray. It's Damien Rice. There's some really strong flavours going in there. He's just an immense player. His voice is just. Oh, I could fall asleep to that album. It's that good. Don't put it on when you're driving.
Yeah, awesome. Well, what we'll do is we'll play some of that at the end of the show. We'll sign off with it. But that's great. That's cool. Let's do a little jingle.
Okay, jingle time. Let's go for it.
It's the Harley and Dave Show.
I like that. Can we use that for the intro instead?
Should we use that? Yeah. Okay. But we've already done it now. It's live. Remember, this show's live.
I've got a better one coming up.
Okay,
I can feel it. Let's slow that down slightly. Let's get a little bit more. No, let's speed that back up now. Right, this is your new intro, Harley.
Okay. Oh, am I doing the talking?
You can do the talking, I'll do the playing. Ready? Right, let's start this again. Here we go.
Live on IO Radio, but not always live, because we're pre-recording this, and we're recording this in post. It's fine. I'll keep going.
Roll with it.
And on iTunes and on YouTube. Harley and Dave Show.
Yeah. We can do better now, Harley.
No, mate, no. Let's keep that and move on.
I just love the cheese factor of it. You know, Dave's got a new toy, doesn't know how to use it.
Josh is going to come back and we're like, what
have you done?
We had a format. We had pre-thought out rock and roll hair metal intros, and now this. So anybody listening, this is exactly how it is.
Oh, good times.
So yeah, that's the thing. Now, so we've got to talk about next week, really, what we're doing next week. This is definitely going to be a shorter episode than usual, but that's fine. So we obviously got Rock Project.
Yeah, it's back on. It's back on. I'm super stoked, man. We've got some awesome songs kicking off.
Yes, I'm liking the playlists. I'm liking the sets, and it's really, really going to be awesome.
Got some new, got some old, got some rock. We've got some soul music going on. It's going to be
We've
fantastic.
also got some other teachers in as well.
Yeah, we have. Yeah.
We've got some great talented teachers that's going to be joining and helping out over what was the September from Hell, as it's this month's probably going to end up being again.
Yeah, it's one of those where, because of the team are all working professional musicians, there are on the odd occasions, particularly on Thursdays, where teachers can't make it in because they've got pre-booked gigs and stuff like that. So, we've got some new teachers. They're already part of our circle, to be fair, Harley. You know Rich Webb, don't you?
Yes.
Gav's back Monday.
Return of the Mac.
He is.
Return of the Mac. Oh, return of the Gav.
Mac Man.
That's his superhero name.
It works.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah, so it's really cool to see that Mac is back in the house. There are going to be some students there that are going to be so happy to see him.
Yeah.
Because he was a tour de force. So Gav's back. Rich Webb is coming in on Wednesdays.
He's going to do really well.
Because Josh is obviously off. So you're going to be doing bass for Wednesday seniors.
Yep.
And then Thursdays, I'm probably going to jump on a bit of guitar, do a bit of teaching.
Okay, awesome.
It's a busy week, Rock Project wise. So Tuesday, I'm going to be asleep.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Friday, something going on Friday with East Town Pirates.
Is there?
Yeah, there certainly is. And Orange as well. That's such a wicked lineup.
You love Orange. We saw them together at Mayday. Was it not this year, but last year?
That's
the first time
yeah.
I saw them, and I was blown away by their performance. Really
yeah, they
good.
are fantastic. Their stage presence is epic. They're nice and young. They're good at influence for our students. Yeah.
They're an exact a beacon of. It's not, it's not an adult game. It's not an old man's game. Music, they're I don't know how old they are, but they're young enough to sort of have that fire and to be passionate about it. And what they're doing is great.
Yeah, it really is. James Squirrel's selling his drum kit from Orange. So if you want a pro kit,
nice,
that's good. That's had a bit of airtime and all that kind of stuff. Then get in touch with us and
we'll make it happen.
We'll ferry you on to Mr. Squirrel.
Yes. I saw someone post a picture of an albino squirrel the other day.
Is that such a thing?
Well, any animal can be albino.
How?
I said both.
Genetic mutilation, right?
Mutation.
Mutation.
Genetic mutilation. That is the name of this episode because it's genetic mutilation from description to actual performance of the episode as well. So
great Scott, Marty.
There we go. We're back to normal. So yeah, that's cool. I'm really looking forward to being back. Again, doing Monday, doing Tuesday. Monday, doing Wednesday. I'm unfortunately not going to be there on Thursday.
This is true.
Because I have got some work with a company called Quatreus. They're based in Leiston, but they're sending me all over East Anglia, doing driving and sound for a auction, a house auction.
WLC.
What's that?
WLC auctions?
No, auction house auctions.
Your profile is, or should I say, your list of contacts is huge. You have so much work.
Yeah, I think there's I don't know if I'm doing it wrong because I have my fingers in a lot of pies because my take on it is that, Rock Project is great 3 days of the week. If I could do it 5 days a week, I would, but I can't yet. I look at you longingly to make that happen. But in the same way, I love gigging and I'd love to gig, but generally you get 2, maybe 3 days a week's worth of gigs, so I can't do that constantly. So I'm filling myself up with other things that are musical, that are the things that I enjoy doing, but it means I've got a nice variety of what I would do, but I can still say that what I'm doing is music-based. I mean, auction houses aren't necessarily music, but it's still sound, so I'll be working the sound desk and, setting up the mics and stuff like that. So it's all part of that world of making things louder or making things sound good, I guess.
When's that movie coming out that you've done the audio for?
I don't know.
Is that still something in
There's a trailer for it.
Is there? Oh, please link me to this trailer.
I am going to link you to the
amazing.
trailer. It's called. If anybody wants to watch at home, YouTube, just search Just One Blood. It's a trailer for a movie.
The film's really bad, but the audio is sensational.
Oh, it sounds amazing. I'm not going to comment on the quality of the film either way, but it's anybody who's looking for something interesting to watch. Just One Blood, check it out.
Cool. So, what do we do? What section do we go in the podcast now? What's happening?
Well, I guess we should be telling people what's happening over the weekend.
So, East Ham Pirates on Friday. That's the big one.
That's the big one, right? That's 14th of. Is that the 14th? No,
16th.
15th. Wait, yeah, that is the 16th. Wow,
16th.
I don't know numbers.
They've got a new EP coming out. They were in the studio last night.
Yes, we played some last week. It was great.
I just want to.
Thanks for listening.
I just want to put the feelers out for Rayner because he had a little bad luck, didn't
Yes,
he? And
yeah.
he's trying to trace somebody that hit and run his car.
Yes, that's very unfortunate because my brother-in-law Carl had to do a bit of work to make the door close properly on it the other day because it was getting a bit leaky through the window. So we he.
Do you know what? He's such a nice guy, isn't he, Rayner?
He is. Yeah, he doesn't deserve that.
No, he really doesn't, and it just rips my heartstrings because it's why do all these bad things happen to nice people? Why is it always the way?
It seems to be the way, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah,
Nothing bad happens to me.
Them, Mr. R. Sorry, dude. Some
Yeah.
people are scumbags.
Yes, but
There's an important message to be had with this, and always do the right thing. So if you hit somebody's car, then at least leave some details on this so it can get rectified.
yeah,
Mind you, saying that it's probably somebody without insurance and all that kind of stuff. So
that's what happened with someone on near my house when we had the snow. Guy got caught in snow.
It's no joke, is it?
Snow Joe. That wasn't the sound I wanted. There we go. That doesn't sound sad now. But anyway, it's stuck.
It sounds like the news at 10. That would be a great way to start the show.
Hello, welcome to the news at 10.
This is the Harley and Dave Show.
Live from 10 p.m. on Channel 4. Wait, is that when news is? I don't watch news. Anyway, so I should probably load up the thing, see what's happening. So we've also got the Angel Open Mic Night this Wednesday.
I've got to get to that. I've got to see Mr. Mayfield and get myself up there because there is a lot of good talent in Woodbridge.
Hey, well, maybe if we pack down quickly, we can swing along for the last bit after Rock Project on Wednesday.
Mate, that sounds like a great plan.
Should we do it? Let's do it. Yeah. So come along, join us. Like I say, there's some great music in Suffolk, let alone Woodbridge. Woodbridge on its own is a very musical place, so it'd be great to get along there if you can. We also have Pop Goes Decades. I've no idea what this is. It looks like some sort of thingy. Josh does this. He's a lot better than I am. I'm going to just bring this down to music, shall I? We'll cut this out. It's fine.
What's going on, Harley?
What's going on? So we got Jazz Jam with Barry Kingston at the Crown Thursday, the 13th of September. So any jazzers, head along to that. That'd be nice.
Good stuff.
So a lot going on in Woodbridge this week. And that's all I've got on here. I haven't got any invites for another events. I'm going to check see if I've got any gigs.
So basically, what you're saying is go out Friday night, have a really good night, and then try to find something half as good for the rest of the weekend.
Yeah, that's it. I'm sure here's the thing, and if you've got a weekend free, Friday night, we'll go see East Ham Pirates. Where are they playing?
They're playing at the Smokehouse.
Smokehouse.
Yeah, I believe doors open from 7:00. It's £3 entry, guys.
And it's going to be packed because they pull a massive crowd. So what I would say, go to that, meet people, chat with people between the sets. Somebody will go, oh, so-and-so's playing there tomorrow. And anyone who likes East Ham Pirates will have a pretty good taste in music, and they'll be able to go see this other band because they're also awesome. And that's a good way of discovering new music you wouldn't do through your normal channels.
New music, and yeah, that's good. Just for the check out new music with Harley and Josh.
And although Dave,
So
that pretty much brings us to the end of our show, really. I do apologise, it's been a short one, but it's been a bit of a last-minute squish to get everything in together.
Harley was running late, basically, and then he come round mine about 45 minutes late, and then we had a little play on the vocoder, and then it was like, okay, well, it's about time that we left, and then we got here. Harley said that he needs to be on the road for 4:30, and it is now 5:55, and we've had about 25 minutes to do the podcast.
Yeah,
That's the
so
rundown.
I'll just put some music in it. I'll probably cut that out. Anyway, so yeah, that it was all Dave's fault. But you've heard a bit of what we're all about. We've kept up. I didn't want to not do a show, so it's better than nothing.
Oh, thanks very much. Come in, Dave. It won't be a great show, but yeah, we'll see.
I thought it was going to be a great one, but you've just disappointed.
Mate, I'll be honest with you. I want to get on and play with my toy.
Do you want me to leave you in here with this?
That would be great.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll do that. Right, so we are going to shoot now. We need. So tell us more about this song you're going to play. Do you know what song you're going to play of Bruce's?
I
Pick one on the spot.
Yeah,
right
I will
now.
play
5,
Wood for the
4.
Trees.
Okay, Wood for the Trees. Tell us about it.
It's a lovely, slow, acoustical track that will have you dreaming of nostalgic things. Grab a pillow, grab a nice cup of tea, chill out, and take it easy with Bruce Neal's Smooth Grooves.
This has been the Harley and Dave Show. Goodbye.
There's a place in my heart where the fire got dim. 'Cause I'm not sure how the darkness got in. I was working from 4 in the morning, so tired. Give up on your dreams, acting all pacified. You're chasing the money, you're after your freedom, living in paradoxical reason.
Should we do the outro?
Yeah.
Oh, we'll do. Yeah. Whoa. Right, I'm thinking. Right, this. Okay, over it.